Hey everyone, welcome back to my UGC NET Criminology lecture series. Today we are going to learn conflict criminology. What if crime is not just about breaking laws but about clashing interests between different groups in society? And what if the same act is considered a crime for one group but completely justified for another? Today we uncover the real meaning of conflict criminology. Conflict criminology is a perspective that explains crime as a result of conflicts between different groups in society. These conflicts are not limited to economic class, they include caste, religion, gender, ethnicity, and political power. Unlike radical criminology, which mainly focuses on capitalism, conflict criminology takes a broader view. It tells us that society is made up of groups with competing interests, and laws are often created in ways that reflect the interest of the dominant group at a given time. So here crime is not just about morality, it is about whose values are being protected and whose are being suppressed. The central idea is simple but powerful. Different groups in society have different beliefs, values, and interests. When these groups clash, laws often emerge as a way to control the weaker group. This means what is considered crime can vary depending on who is in power. Law is not always neutral, it reflects social conflicts. Justice outcomes can differ based on social position. Let's understand this through an example. In 2002, Gujarat witnessed one of the most severe communal riots in Indian history. The violence began after the Gujarat train burning incident, where 59 people were killed. What followed was widespread violence, primarily targeting the Muslim community. Hundreds of people lost their lives and thousands were displaced. Now here's where conflict criminology comes in. Different groups interpreted the events differently. One side saw it as retaliation, another saw it as targeted violence. The state machinery itself was accused by many of being biased or slow in response. Investigations, trials, and convictions happened over many years, but debates about justice and fairness continue even today. From a conflict criminology perspective, this case shows how religious conflict shapes both crime and its interpretation, and how power structures influence whose suffering is acknowledged and whose is ignored. Now let's move to caste-based conflict. In 1968, in a village called Kilvenmani in Tamil Nadu, 44 Dalit agricultural laborers, including women and children, were burnt alive. Their crime, they demanded higher wages from upper caste landlords. The landlords who held economic and social power retaliated brutally. Now observe carefully. The victims were from a marginalized caste. The accused belonged to a dominant caste. Many accused were later acquitted due to lack of evidence. Conflict criminology explains this as a clash between caste groups where power imbalance affects not only the crime but also the justice process. This is not just economic conflict, it is social hierarchy turning into violence and selective justice. Now connect all this. In all two examples, the conflict is different. Religion in Gujarat riots, caste in Kilvenmani. This is exactly what makes conflict criminology different from radical criminology. Radical criminology would mainly focus on class and capitalism. Conflict criminology says no, conflict exists everywhere and crime emerges from all these competing interests. Scholars like Thorsten, Sellin, and Vold emphasize that crime results from conflicts between cultural and social groups, not just economic class. Vold especially argued that laws are the result of group struggles where the most powerful group gets its interest written into law. Of course, this theory also has limitations. Critics say it may overemphasize conflict and ignore social cooperation. Not all laws are products of conflict, some genuinely protect society. It sometimes underestimates individual responsibility. Conflict criminology teaches us that crime is not just an individual act, it is a reflection of deeper struggles within society. It shows us that laws are shaped by competing interests, power decides what is criminal, justice is not always equally distributed, and most importantly, it expands our understanding beyond just class to include caste, religion, gender, and power conflicts. If this helped you clearly understand the difference between conflict and radical criminology, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more UGC criminology content. Also, don't forget to attempt the practice question given in the link below to test your understanding. Because in criminology, crime is not just about action, it is about conflicts shaping those actions.